Alright, so sorry for my absence. I will still be after school today. So for 1A, when we're looking for the mean of p hat, that's just p, which is 0.22, and the standard deviation of p hat is the square root of 0.22 times 1 minus 0.22 divided by n, which in this case is 150. So you want to see what that is. It is 0.034. 1B, what is the approximate shape for this problem? Well, we're going to do n times p, which is 150 times 0.22, and 150 times 1 minus 0.22. And we got 33 and 117, and since these are both bigger than 10, we say approximately normal. For 1C, it says suppose that the standard deviation, what is the shape, center, and spread if we use 36 instead of 150. So the mean of p hat is always 0.22. The standard deviation of p hat is the square root of 22 times 1 minus 0.22 divided by 36. It turns out to be 0.069. And then when I do 100, not 150 because we're not doing 150, when I do 36 times 0.22, the answer turns out to be 7.92, which is less than 10, so we'll just say that it is not normal. And finally, for 1D, it says, suppose a small town only has 600 students. What is the largest possible sample size? So I have to divide this by 10. We're used to taking the sample size and multiplying it by 10. But when I know the population, I'm going to divide instead. So the biggest amount of people or students that I can ask is 60, or else it breaks the independent rule. Alright, let's try problem number 2. So read the power company's severely trimmed trees, 20% of sycamore trees, and they tested on 250, and so we're going to consider it an SRS. What is the mean of standard deviation? Well, the mean of p hat is 0.20. And the standard deviation of p hat is the square root of 0.20 times 1 minus 0.20 divided by 250. That turns out to be 0.025. So in part B, before I get started on the actual math here, I'm going to make sure that when I multiply 200 times 20 and 250 times 1 minus 0.20, that we have a normal distribution. So that's 50, and that's 200, and both of these are bigger than 10. So there's 0.20, there's 0.025, and we're trying to figure out the probability that it's bigger then 24%. So Z equals 0.24 minus 0.20 divided by 0.025. Which turns out to be 1.6. And since we're doing the probability Z is bigger than 1.6, we go to normal CDF 1.6 comma 99999. And that turns out to be 0.055. Alright, please work on the other quizzes and hand them in at the end of the period if you finish. Email me questions and I'll try to answer them.